What's up YouTube, Shawn DaGamer here, and as you can tell by the title of the video, we are going to be going over WWE Survivor Series 2017, aka, what is it, Clash of Champions or Bragging Rights, the show where the two brands went head to head in like competition, quote unquote. But we're going to have a lot of Raw versus Smackdown matches to talk about, with a few like singles matches, or one singles match that is just for a title, and possibly another one to be added before the show starts. So if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, share this video out with your friends and all that good stuff so they can also get in on the conversation before this pay-per-view goes live tomorrow night. So here's an interesting little factoid. Well, there's two interesting little factoids that I just saw when I was like trying to pull up information for the match card for tonight, just to make sure I go over everything. And the first thing is Shawn Michaels refereed a match between Drew McIntyre and Adam Cole on a house show, and he was a special referee, of course, like I just said. And he got on the mic and said he appreciates like the one more match chance, but after refereeing this match, he officially thinks he's too old for this shit. His words, not his. And another interesting little factoid is the Green Arrow from CW, Stephen Amell. What's his real name? Not his real name. What's the Green Arrow's name? Oliver Queen. There we go. I was about to be so mad at myself I forgot that. Oliver Queen is officially a part of the Bullet Club. He teamed with, I forgot who he teamed with, but he teamed with some members of the Bullet Club last night, and they did defeat their opposition last night. And I just think that's really interesting that the Green Arrow is a part of the Bullet Club now. So can we get the Flash now? Ooh, can we get Diggle? Can we get Diggle a part of the Bullet Club? That'd be funny. He has his own little shirt and everything. I'll probably put up the picture they posted on Instagram just to show you guys that I'm not making this up. But you're not here for all that other stuff. You're here to talk about, or hear me talk about, and you guys are going to discuss in the comment section what you guys think is going to happen during this pay-per-view Survivor Series 2017. So without further ado, let's jump into this. We're going to start with the pre-show match. Kalisto versus Enzo Amore for the Cruiserweight Champion. We all know Enzo is the current Cruiserweight Champion. We saw Pete Dunne pop up, beat his ass like a week or two ago. Nothing really has come from that right now, but I don't see them taking the belt off Enzo right now, because he is the most marketable, quote unquote, person in that division right now. Just in terms of his mic skills, he can get out there, cut a promo, and get people hyped, annoyed, or whatever it needs to be done for the Cruiserweight division right now. As much as I disagree with that decision, I think they just need to let them go out there and wrestle more on Raw to get people more interested to watch 205 Live, because it's been over a year now and people aren't interested in 205 Live. And the fact that they canceled other good programming like Raw Talk and Talking Smack in placement of 205 Live, and that's still going, I just think that's weird marketing and a weird business decision, especially when you're taking out stuff that people actually want for something that people aren't really watching in the Cruiserweights. The Cruiserweights can be so much better, because when people say they don't like 205 Live, they're not necessarily saying they don't like the division itself. Because I say it all the time when I'm doing these reviews and these things, is that the Cruiserweight division is stacked with amazing talent. From, I'm not going to go through all of them, but from Cedric Alexander all the way down to like Mustafa Ali or Noam Dar, Jack Gallagher. You have so many entertaining performers in that division, and it's just sad to see them not thriving the way that they should be, just because WWE on Raw positions them in dead spots to, essentially show they don't really care about this brand, even though they did give them their own show, but they're not really doing anything about it. So all that being said, I do think Enzo Amore is going to retain the belt. So let's go on from there, and we're going to talk about IC versus US champions. You have The Miz versus Baron Corbin. This match can honestly go either way. Baron Corbin has been up and down all year, and so has The Miz. They both need something to solidify themselves as top champions on either brand. This match could be very fun if both guys can actually work together. Baron Corbin has this hard-hitting, trash style smash mouth. I don't care. I'm going to beat you up and I'm going to win. And The Miz is like more cowardly, more quote unquote smart. When I say smart, I mean like he'll do anything in his power to win. You know, Baron Corbin is the same way, but The Miz is more crafty. That's the word I want to use. The Miz is more crafty when it comes to his wrestling style. So when it comes to like using outside interference, outside objects, getting disqualified and things like that, Baron Corbin isn't really the type to get disqualified intentionally where The Miz is. So we could see something like that. The Miz is more like, I'm going to ignore the 10 count and keep beating your ass. And The Miz is like, I'm going to take this 10 count and walk out, if you know what I mean. So this match can go either way. I'm a fan of both competitors, but I will probably go with The Miz. But I can also see Baron Corbin winning, and I can also see Baron Corbin being the only person. Never mind. I'm not going to say that because I just looked at the 5-on-5 men's match, so never mind. So I'm just going to go with The Miz to win this match. And then from there, we're going to go on to the women's title. I'm wanting to say women's title match because I'm used to it being title matches, but these are not title matches. The Raw's champion versus the SmackDown champion, which is now Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair. The thing about this is, even though we have Carmella in the women's match, depending on the placement of these matches, Carmella could still possibly cash in. And with Raw releasing 2 talents, she could do a major swerve and cash in on Alexa Bliss. And you're probably like, but she won the briefcase on the SmackDown pay-per-view. But they never clarified that the only championship that she could go for is the SmackDown Women's title. So back in the day, when people won the Money in the Bank briefcase, they had the option of going over the ECW championship. When ECW was a brand for like a year or two, you could go after the Raw or SmackDown top title. So they can do that here. But who's going to win the match itself? I don't see Charlotte losing unless there's some type of other factor in play. But I see Charlotte winning this Raw versus SmackDown Women's Champion match. And then in non-championship action, but it's still Raw versus SmackDown, we have The Shield versus The New Day. And that's just a no-brainer. As much as everybody loves this new dynamic from the New Day, when I say new, I say this more aggressive side that has come out of their championship feud with the Usos. They have just been more violent, more physical in their matches. But all in all, the Shield has Roman Reigns, and that's just a deciding factor right there. So the Shield is probably going to go over the New Day, like I said, unless something happens. And I don't know what that something could be right now when it comes to the Shield. I just don't know what that other possibility could be if something were to come into play. But I don't see the Shield losing. Let's go into tag team champions, Raw versus SmackDown. We have The Bar versus the Usos, which is going to be a really, really good match. And here's a little fun factoid. Last year, it came down to the Shield, no, not the Shield, the Bar and the Usos. I don't think it was the main match, but I think it was the tag team match from last year. When Sheamus and Cesaro first started doing this tag team thing by orders of Mick Foley after they had their best of 7 series, and that was like such a great last like 10 minutes, I believe it was, when it came down to those final 2 teams being the Usos and the Bar. And I believe the Bar won that, so I think it's time for the Usos, especially with the run they're on, and they're about to bring up the Bludgeon Brothers, so you can have the Usos looking strong to face a new tag team. I say new because it's still just Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, even though everybody loved, including myself, we all love Luke Harper in the Bludgeon Brothers. So I do see the Usos winning this match and then going in to face the Bludgeon Brothers in the near future for the Smackdown tag team titles. So now we have the men's match and the top title match. Let's go into the top title match because this is kind of a no-brainer. AJ Styles, your WWE champion, versus Brock Lesnar, your Universal champion. Raw's Brock Lesnar versus SmackDown's AJ Styles. And as great as AJ Styles is, as phenomenal, pun intended, as he is, I just don't see WWE letting Brock Lesnar lose. But I also don't see AJ Styles losing clean. Therefore, I do see some type of interference from Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers in this match, if not somebody else. But I don't see AJ Styles winning as much as I want him to win. And on Twitter, I picked him to win when they had the little WWE poll. Who do you think is going to win? I picked AJ just because that's who I want to win. But I know this match is going to go at least 10 to 15 minutes. Hopefully. I know we all want that from Brock Lesnar matches. But if you look at some of the opponents that he's been in there with, like Braun Strowman and like Samoa Joe, over the past couple of months, those competitors were best suited for like shorter big man matches. So when you have somebody like AJ Styles, like Paul Heyman and Daniel Bryan have been touting, AJ Styles can go all night long. Shout out to Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact. But I don't see AJ Styles winning. I see this being a very fun match. The crowd should be very, very much into this. But all in all, Brock Lesnar is going to get the victory. And now moving on to... Oh, we haven't did the women's match either. So let's talk about the women's match. The women's Fireball 5. Raw has... See, they're saying Natalya is going to be the 5th woman on Wikipedia, but I don't know who's going to be in that 5th spot. It could be one of the Bellas. It could be Paige. Paige was supposed to return on Monday, but they kind of slighted that because of internet shenanigans. It being leaked that Paige is supposed to be coming back, and she was actually there at Raw, but she never came out or was shown. So going over the teams real quick on Raw, we have Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. On SmackDown, we have Becky Lynch, Carmella, Tamina, Naomi, and a 5th person that hasn't been named yet, to my opinion. And I don't feel like looking it up because I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes. So it could be Natalya, and a 5th woman. But the fact that Asuka is on Team Raw, unless she gets taken out of the match completely, like say like 5 or 10 minutes into the match, or like 7 minutes into the match, somebody comes out, attacks Asuka. You know what they could do? They could have the night before, if Peyton Royce and Billie Kay don't win the title in NXT, they could have them debut on Survivor Series, jump Asuka, and cost Raw the match. But unless that happens, I don't see Asuka losing. I can see Asuka taking out at least 2 or 3 of these women at the end and being a sole survivor for Team Raw, just putting an extra stamp of dominance on the main roster that she desperately needs at this point, because they haven't really done much with Asuka in terms of Emma and a few squash matches here and there. In terms of order of elimination, I'm not even going to go through all that right now. I don't even care as long as Asuka does not get eliminated or pinned in this match. So I believe we went over everything but the men's match. So on Team Raw, you have Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and the newly announced Triple H, who just literally took the spot from Jason Jordan. And then on Team Smackdown, you have Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena. This match is going to be very entertaining, very fun to watch, just because of the different matchups that we could see. We could see Shane versus Triple H, which is something that we've wanted to see for years and years now. We can see Joe and Orton. We can see Nakamura and Angle. We can see John Cena and Balor. We can see Samoa Joe and John Cena. We can see Rude and Kurt Angle. Well, again, but you see what I'm getting at. We can see Triple H and Bobby Roode, Triple H and Shinsuke, just in the ring at the same time together, even if it's only for like a minute or two. But the possibility of seeing these different big names in the ring at the same time. Did I say Balor and Cena? We can see Balor and Cena in the ring at the same time. Angle and Cena after so many years. Orton. There's so many different possibilities in this match. But I see Jason Jordan screwing over this team just because of Triple H and Kurt Angle to prolong that feud. And then SmackDown getting the win with maybe like Shane McMahon and Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode being the last survivors. You let John Cena and Orton get eliminated early, and that can be like your 2 big surprise eliminations. Like, oh my god, they eliminated these guys, and then you can have like Kurt Angle and Triple H trying to fight back, and then you can have like Nakamura and Orton and Shane defeat Braun Strowman, Finn Balor and Joe, and then you can have it come down to the last 2 being like I don't know, just so many different possibilities. I'm trying to put it all together in my head, but anything can happen in this match. I'm just more looking forward to the possibilities in this match, and for some reason I don't see Team Raw winning. And if Team Raw does win, it's going to be Triple H leading them to victory with maybe like Finn Balor or Samoa Joe on his side. Just be like, yeah, I told you these guys. I can see Triple H and Joe being the last 2 members on Team Raw if they do win. Like I said, I do feel like Jason Jordan is going to cost either Triple H or Kurt Angle. Excuse me. But either way, I really don't see Team Raw winning, even though SmackDown won last year, I believe. But this year, I can also see SmackDown winning again, just because of the dynamics of Jason Jordan. But then, now that I think about it, you can also have the dynamic of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens come in and cost Team SmackDown the match because of Shane and how he's been treating them lately. So this match could go either way, but if I had to put 49-51 on one side to win, I will put that 51 on SmackDown. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that 51 on SmackDown, but I'm not saying there's going to... I just can't... Like I said, there's the way they set this up, there is a wild card factor on both teams of somebody or certain people being left off the team and them wanting to have a vendetta or grudge against the commissioner or GM of either side. So either Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to call SmackDown, or Jason Jordan is going to cost Raw. But if I had to pick, I'm always bleeding Team Blue. So I'm going with Team SmackDown to win. So to go over my picks one more time, I'm going with Enzo to retain his Cruiserweight title. I'm going with The Miz. I'm going with Team Raw for the women. I'm going with Charlotte. I'm going with The Shield. I'm going with the Usos. I'm going with SmackDown. And I'm going with Brock Lesnar. So each brand will pick up a significant amount of victories. But of course, the big two victories between the top title matches and the men's 5-on-5 match will be the determining factors of this show. So let me see how you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6, 7. So there's 7. Well, no, all these matches are cross promotion, right? So there's mid-card title, that's 1. Women's match, that's 2. Women's championship match, that's 3. The Shield versus the New Day, that's 4. Tag team match is 5. Okay, so what's throwing me off is that pre-show match. So there's 7 matches on the card. So that means it can be even 3-3 either way it goes. And then whatever the last match is, whether it's Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles or the men's match, that's going to be the determining match to see which brand comes out on top. So, yeah. And I think I did that right. So I said The Miz is going to win. So that's 1 for Raw. I said the Raw women are going to win, so that's 2 for Raw. I see Charlotte winning, and then there might be a possible cash in, but I see Charlotte winning, so that's 1 for SmackDown. The tag team match, so I want the Usos to win. Then you have the Shield, and then you have SmackDown win the tag team match, and then you have Brock Lesnar win the top title match. So that'll make Raw coming out on top 4-3. And then the Enzo Kalisto match doesn't really count. So, and nobody really cares anyway. So, yeah, I can see that happening. So, or you could just have Jinder Mahal come out and mess up the whole Universal versus WWE Championship match in general, and that match goes to a no contest. I can see something like that. But all in all, this should be a very entertaining show. It's way better than when this first started. Because think about it, when this first started, we had Bliss versus Natalya. We had, well, that was really the only thing nobody really wanted to see, but oh, and then you had Jinder versus Lesnar, and those are the 2 big matches that were like kind of hindering this card from being better. And then you replace Natalya and Jinder with AJ Styles and Charlotte, and that just made SmackDown an entirely better show, period. And I think we had the New Day versus the Shield, and then the Usos won a little while ago, and then they got the titles back, and then they pretty much they retcon this show so much. People talk about Dragon Ball Super retcons, but this show has been retconned. But all that being said, please leave your thoughts and your winners down below in the comment section below. Share this video out with your friends so they can get in on the discussion as well. And if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to know when a new video goes live on the channel immediately if YouTube is acting right. All my links are always linked in the description down below. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Always down there with other goodies. Tonight is NXT TakeOver War Games, and that comes on in a couple of hours actually, so I need to start finding my popcorn and stuff now. But with all that being said, like I said, leave comments, leave your predictions down below as well, and then we'll come back on Monday or Tuesday with results. and all that good stuff. So, I am Shawn DaGamer, and I am out of here.